last night I saw your eyes, a sense of threat that I can't forget. I wanna know who you are. This is what I need to know. So take my hand and let our fears go. Take me to the jungle where the rain is warm and the birds fly. Take me to your kingdom. Yeah, take me to the. Yeah, take me to the.
After all of the demon slayers are sent into Muzan's infinity castle, Mitsuri and Obanai are tasked with finding the demon who controls the dimension itself, Nakime. When the two Hashira find Nakime sitting in the center of the castle and playing her biwa, Mitsuri dives in for a straightforward attack, but Nakime controls the castle to create a door that knocks Mitsuri out of the way. As the fight continues on, Nakime starts trying to get rid of the demon slayers by sending all sorts of rooms and doors flying at them, trying to crush the two. Later on, as the battle progresses, Muzan sees through Nakime's eyes that Obanai and Mitsuri have been taken out, but actually during the battle, Yushido managed to sneak up on Nakime, placing a seal on her face to control her vision, and placing his hands in her head, giving him full control over the Infinity Castle. However, Muzan, realizing that this could actually get really annoying, closes one of his hands, and at that moment, Nakime pops like a balloon as the entire Infinity Castle collapses.
It's just me, myself, and I. Solo ride up till I die. 'Cause I got to life.
Nezuko wakes up during the final arc after everything that's happened and starts to remember her past memories. After Tamayo gave Nezuko a potion that would potentially turn her back into a human, Nezuko runs to try and reach Tanjiro and Muzan, who are having their final battle. But as she gets close, one of her eyes turns back to normal as she starts to change back and remembers her entire family as they rested in their simple home as the snow fell and Tanjiro was gone for the night. And their door opened and Kibutsuji Muzan himself came walking in with an immediate attack using his long demonic arms. Afterwards, Muzan tells Nezuko it's pitiful that she died from only the small amount of his blood that he gave her, being upset that he can't create a demon that can conquer the sun. But little did he know, that's exactly what he did. As Nezuko finally reaches Tanjiro's battlefield with her hand on her face crying, saying, "I am Nezuko Kamado, and my family was slain by a demon," showing us that she's finally back to normal.
I wanna know who you are. Take me to your jungle where the rain is warm and the birds fly. Take me to your kingdom. Yeah, take me to the. Take me to your jungle where the rain is warm and the
Desce é o chebuchão, onde desce é o chebuchão, aliás, desce é o chebuchão, onde desce é o chebuchão.
Slowly over the course of the series, Obanai and Mitsuri Kanroji get closer and closer, with the two working together in the final arc to help destroy Muzan's Infinity Castle, and giving us a lot of cute moments with Kanroji fawning over the Serpent Hashira. Things get tricky, however, during the final battle against Muzan, when the King of Demons doesn't hold back at all and starts tearing the Demon Slayers apart. And during the battle, he fatally wounds Mitsuri as Obanai continues fighting until the very second that Muzan burns away, getting terribly injured as well and losing sight in both of his eyes. As Mitsuri realizes that she doesn't have much time left because she can't feel her body, Obanai tells her that he'll go too so she doesn't have to be alone or feel like she didn't help, because he won't let anyone complain about her. Mitsuri cries into his arms, telling Obanai that she loves him, and the two agree to marry each other if they're ever reborn into this world again, as the two fade away in each other's arms. During the battle against Muzan, when everyone was working together to take him down, we see him lash out and send every Hashira flying as Gyomei gets sent into a wall with the loss of one of his legs. He remains unconscious for a while, but finally stands up and begins to drag himself back towards the battle with his chains in his teeth, as they're too heavy to carry for the moment. Muzan creates a big shell of skin around himself and nearly crushes a group of Kakushi before Gyomei uses his chains to pull it back and hold Muzan down in the sunlight, but as Muzan tries to dig through the ground to escape, Gyomei's chains start to snap and he exerts all of his remaining energy to keep him there. In the end, Gyomei collapses and tells them not to waste their medicine on him, telling them his final wishes for them to save the young ones as he sees the spirits of the orphans he failed to protect, finally giving him some closure as they hug him and hold his hand to guide him to heaven. After Muzan's weird outer shell starts burning away with Tanjiro inside of it, everyone starts celebrating that Muzan has been defeated, but something is wrong. Everyone is completely out of it, with the strongest Hashira all passing away as soon as the battle ends, and the Kakushi trying their best to patch Inosuke, Zenitsu, and Sanemi up to save their lives. On the ground in the middle of the battlefield where Muzan was, sits Tanjiro, who's missing an arm from the battle and has a broken blade, and everyone begins to mourn Tanjiro because he has no pulse and isn't breathing, which causes Giyu to break down and apologize for always needing to be the one to be saved. As Nezuko arrives in her human form, we find out what actually happened here. In Muzan's final moments, he decides to entrust all of his emotions and his will to Tanjiro by giving Tanjiro all of his remaining blood and cells, hoping that Tanjiro, like Nezuko, would be able to conquer the sun. And as Tanjiro's body begins to move, he looks up and begins to completely heal as Tanjiro becomes the new king of demons. In Tanjiro's soul, he starts to cry as Muzan tells him he shouldn't be allowed to be the only one who gets to survive without losing anything. From behind him, he can feel hands pushing him upwards, and we see that they're the hands of all the Hashira who didn't make it, helping Tanjiro escape. But Muzan, in a last-ditch effort to keep him there, says this is all delusion and none of it can actually save him. But Tanjiro's nose picks up the scent of Shinobu, and in that moment, he sees a flood of wisteria flowers blooming beautifully above him as hands reach through the wall of flowers and grab Tanjiro's hand, saying let's go home. Tanjiro realizes that this is Nezuko and begins crying even more, but these are tears of happiness, and Muzan screams at Tanjiro to let go of that hand, calling Tanjiro a one-of-a-kind being and that he was chosen by the gods to carry out Muzan's goal of becoming truly immortal. But everyone's hands pull Tanjiro out of the darkness as Muzan cries Tanjiro's name out one last time and says, "Don't leave me behind."